Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live in the spaces, in the places. We're going to run back um, a conversation that I had on Thursday. We're going to talk about budgets and savings and debt freedom. I think I put investments, but investments to get you prepared for retirement. So this is what I do. This is who I am. This is part of my gift back to the community and those that I know and love that look like me that want to do better for their children's children, right? So, with that being said, we're going to talk a little bit about um, budgets, why it's important, and why and how to make one. Not nice. Welcome in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. So, most of you know that I have several businesses that I run. Um, and I'm just going to go a little bit about who I am, what I do, and why this is important for me to talk about this subject. So I am Keisha Johnson. I have multiple businesses. I own a travel agency. I teach financial literacy. I, along with a great team, help people get on the right side of wealth, middle class get on the right side of wealth. One of the things that we really do is get you to live and dream bigger. Thank you so much. So the one thing about today's tips with Keisha is literally talking about saving and budget strategies. And it's the thing that we don't do often or don't talk about it. So we believe people are just able to just naturally budget or naturally save. And that's not how it is. So I've gone to a lot of summits this year, conferences, networking events with women in wealth. Um, I sit in through one every Wednesday with my broker that her goal is to teach women to get on the right side of wealth. I My demographic is actually younger people. Um, Greetings. It's younger people, and it's because we tend to deal with debt and money and don't have a great relationship with money, right? So I had this multimillionaire sit down and talk to me and said money is like a woman. He said it wants to be touched, loved, and taken out. So um, I was there. There was some guys, there were some couples, and then there were some single people. There was a couple single people. But when he was talking to the couples, he was saying that his business grew when he gave his wife an allowance and had her stop working. Now, the allowance that he was giving to his wife, that his coach had told him, um, sounds great when you're making the money that he was making. However, we were just starting off in the business. So I looked at my ex-husband and I said, I'll take 400 a month, not 400 a week. And I kind of chuckled because basically what that was telling us is that there's money to be made in the financial industry, but moreover, that wives that can support you in all the things you do make it grow, makes the marriage, the partnership better, right? So, um, one of the things that has happened and we become ashamed of is getting in debt. And one of the reasons we become ashamed of debt, oh, one of the reasons we become ashamed of debt is because we don't have that great relationship with money. Um, and we usually have debt late earlier in life, and we've gotten better about it. So one of the things you want to know, is there an income problem or is there a spending problem? So who am I? I am Keisha Johnson, a serial entrepreneur. My journey with saving and credit began with a lot of trial and error. Now I'm using my platform to help others miss the pitfalls and get ahead of the game. That is what I do. Who do I speak to? I speak with everyone between the ages of 18 to 70. Um, and then we start with your financial house, and that's protecting your personal asset. Now, why do I feel so strongly about this? Is because the word tells us, the Bible tells us that Proverbs 22 and 7, that the rich rule over the poor and the borrower is a slave to the lender. Says Deuteronomy 15 and 6, when the Lord your God has blessed you and as he's promised you, you will lend to many nations, but you will not borrow. Proverbs 13:22, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the wealth of the sinner is stored up for the righteous. So people that think that rich people are bad and it's terrible to be rich, that's not true if you're a believer of Christ. Perfect. All right. So we were talking about credit, how to get rid of credit. All right. So the objective is to build your confidence with money, create a plan that fits your lifestyle, and move from stress to stability. Perfect. Thank you. Um, Budgeting and savings. Do you have a budget? When did you start saving? And do you have an income problem or do you have a spending problem? And writing your budget down lets you know this. So you write down everything that you make, and then you write down everything that you spend. So I had to do this. I had to audit myself. So I took 3 months of every credit card statement, every bank statement, and I wrote down everything that I spent. And then I wrote down the monies that was coming in because I have a business that brings in residual income. So I get an opportunity to look at that. Well, in my business, I got to remember to always also remember to put down my expenses because not everything that's in my registry is an expense for, it could be an expense for any business that I may have, right? So first of all, the way to start saving, start small and stick to it is the name of the game, and start early. So your emergency fund should be no less than 500, should be about 1,000, working your way up to 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. So if you lose your job, you want to be able to do it. That's something that we don't talk about, is if you're an entrepreneur, do you have a proper care disability insurance? Do you have life insurance? Because you don't have the type of job that allows you to have this as a benefit. So that's when you go into those agencies like myself and you come to me and say, I don't have these things. How can I get them? Become intimate with money. So there's a workshop that Smart Women Finish Rich. I've sat through it, and a multimillionaire said women should have no less than $1,000 in their pocket at all times. You should be able to go to the airport, go up and pick up, and be able to get you a plane ticket. And most same day airline tickets you can get anywhere for $1,000. Rent a car, anything. And you should also have a credit card that has $5,000. So using credit wisely is important as well. And then, if you're like me and you love to celebrate your birthday, there should be a fun, right? So, um, the fun is the fund for a birthday, the fund that you're going to put your extra money in, the fund for holidays if you into buying for Christmas, um, any one of those. So that's your fund. Then automate. You want to automate everything as easily as you can. Put everything on a bill pay. This helps with your budget. Everything gets paid, which also helps you look good and timely. And then pay yourself in retirement for retirement. Retirement is not an age. Retirement is not 62, 67, or for millennials 70. And the only reason there's an age there is because that's what Social Security. Now, Social Security is an issue that was only made for the baby boomers. It was not supposed to be income for us. So, if we're no longer have the three-leg stool, which is Social Security, pensions, and 401ks, we now only have the one-legged stool, and most of those one-leggeds are wobbly. One bad disaster can take you out, and you don't have um, your emergency fund, or you're not prepared for retirement. And then start early and start now. It's not too late to begin on your savings. And then collect any invoices. So remember, although you're supposed to be the borrower, not the lender, your time is money. And so when someone don't respect your time and they're not paying for it, then it's okay to remove them if you got your head down and you have a goal. So there's a little table in out of the book Smart Couples Finish Rich. Um, it lets you know how much you need to save to build $1 million retirement account. So I'm 50. I need to save $2,200 um, for the next 15 years to retire at 65 with $1 million. Doesn't sound like much. I just got to have a business that allows me to make that money. I love this table. My mentor put this table in her slide. And this is the one thing I tell young people all the time, that if you start now, you don't have to save as much. And then if you don't want to work as long, you just double up on what you got to start, right? Makes a lot of sense. So, um, so debt freedom, your path to debt freedom. You can use the snowball method. Uh, take your larger bill and with the interest, the high interest, and then you pay that down. Then you take that money and you put it into the next high interest. Um, you can use the avalanche method. So you take the lowest bill, pay that off, and then whatever that bill is, you're gonna take that amount in the medium of that next bill, and you're going to avalanche it up to where you're putting big bulks on what you need that has the biggest chunk of money. And then negotiate and make payment plans. But once you do this, you need to start putting away cards. Don't Once you get them paid off, do not continue to use them. That is no longer your rainy day money. You're gonna have your $1,000, your emergency fund, and then you're gonna have your investments for your future, so you can retire. Remember, consistency beats intensity. So it's just start and do small things and continue to do small things. So instead of going to Starbucks, make your coffee at home. Find out how to make it. Invest in the machine, the Keurig machine. Get a knockoff. Catch it on sale. Go to the thrift store. Start couponing. There's so many ways that you can save so much money. Now, you are not alone. Did you know the average American actually has over $105,000 worth of debt? This does not include mortgages. So remember, we were talking about how to do that. So we talked about the rule of 72 one day on here. And the rule of 72 said wherever your money lies, you divide that interest rate into 72. That lets you know how long it's going to take your money to double. Now think about that in reverse. Credit cards, it works against you. So you take how much you're paying in interest rate divided into 72, and that lets you know how much that credit card interest is accruing. So you'll never get out of the rat race of debt. So that's why we got to let go of debt. So write the plan down. Write down everything that you owe. Pull your credit report, write your plan down. who all you owe, who all's in collection, and then we can have a talk to talk about how to get better at this. And if you say, okay, Keisha, I don't have the $2,500 to put towards retirement, what can I do? I can show you how to start a business. Um, I can walk you through setting up some certain things. That is what the Forever KJ will be doing. But if you think that you like this conversation and you want to have this conversation more in depth to talk about your financial freedom plan, I would love to sit down and talk to you. So write the plan, share it with someone, make sure that you're held accountable. So if you said, I want to save $100,000 by the end of next year, well, we're going to set the goal, then we're going to break it down, and we know how much exactly we save. So whatever that product is that you're selling or that service you have, you know how many of those you need to do to make that amount of money. Progress is better than perfection, and your money can serve your life, and you are capable and worthy of being debt free and to be financially sound. Your family deserves it too. Y'all know that, right? All right. So budget support savings. Savings protect from debt. Debt freedom creates option. Start where you are. Include joy in your budget and adjust as life changes. We all know that everything that we set out to do, if God is not in the forefront, tell him what you want to do and he'll laugh at you, right? So if this is not what your plan is and this is not what you plan on doing, and you feel like you're supposed to continue to live and be the borrower, I apologize that I shared this information with you. Please do not do this because wealth is a mindset, is a mind shift and a mind change. And when you're around people that talk money, you actually want to be about money. So it's not what you wear, it's not what you put on, and it's not what you do out in public. It's literally what you do behind closed doors. So, hey, Dave, I did not speak to those that had come in. I want to thank you all for the harmonies and the lights. Hard Hat, I appreciate you coming in. Rare, I thank you for sharing it out. Greetings, Keith. Bowden, uh, I don't know if you're in the financial industry, if you can offer some insight. Um, Hi, Lloyd. Hi, Nicole. Thank you all for stopping by. I appreciate your support in this. And Tuesday's Tips with Keisha basically just says that we do not have to be walking around here with our faces tuned up and living in poverty. We can actually have a life of abundance. And I choose to design my life and live the life that I design. So, with that being said, hey, uh, Dave, I'm doing well. How are you? Mr. Jeffrey Vincent Taylor Sr., hello. Greetings. Yeah. Hello. Welcome in. So we talked about debt, um, retirement, and budgeting. So just a little bit on debt, a little bit on retirement, but a lot bit on budgeting. If you are interested in learning more about this or would like the financial needs consult, you can reach out to me at www.theforeverkj.com. So, do you thinking it's this is that I woke up like this hair. I took it out of the ponytail just so I can get on camera. So, thank you so much for seeing the beauty through the mess. So yeah, if I do have any questions, anybody that have any specific questions that would like to ask about budgeting or debt, Dave, please check out my bio. It kind of answers some of those questions. Anybody? So I am on my YouTube channel, The Forever KJ. So you can go back and watch this if you choose to. Our morning conversations is usually there, and I'm here every Tuesdays with a tip. Next Tuesday will probably be a travel tip as we're going into the New Year's to see where we're going to be traveling for next year. I'm super excited to be able to provide that service to others, and I look forward to being here with you. I appreciate you for joining me for Tuesday's Tips with Keisha. Thank you so much for being a part of this. And until next Tuesday, y'all take care of yourself. Peace.